Greetings, I am Live.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
All right.
Like, not enough appreciation for this cool-ass sign.
There's not enough appreciation, honestly, in general, just for the sheer level of, like, these people in 30 days are fixing a sprawling estate to such a high level of quality while they've had no, pointed previous experience at all. This whole game is ridiculous and undersells itself a lot. But then other times they're like, wow, that just took so much effort. And you're like, so you've now brought up in the game where originally I wouldn't question it because it's a game and therefore fantasy and made up and you can make characters do shit all the time. But now you're saying that I should pointedly actually observe that these characters are doing things that are ridiculous.
Right?
And
I felt like Rachel was the only one that had a good impression of it. Lily going, I don't really know what I'm doing. And Rachel, a professional, going, it looks really good, honey. Like, this is professional quality, my bro. A lot of people couldn't do this. And going, oh, really? What? And then, of course, you don't gush too hard about it because you're a stranger and you don't want to pry into people's business and you're also very professional.
Right.
But, all right. I can see you champing.
I think it's supposed to be chomping.
I always thought it was chomping.
Look up chomping. Hang on,
because I don't know what champing is, but I do know what chomping at the bit is.
Hang on, champing?
Yeah, what's champing at the bit? What?
Champing or chomping at the bit. Hang on. The original phrase is indeed champing at the bit, but chomping at the bit emerged in the Americas in the 1930s, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, and chomp has overtaken champ in common use. A Google search for chomping at the bit returns twice as many results for champing at the bit. So this is just from some grammar thing they were talking about. Like,
okay, so what I would tend to say is, why would she use champing? So sure, if that's the old version, but why would she use that?
Yeah.
So, like, I've been around horses, and I've also been, around a lot of people, and that's a colloquialism I've heard many times.
I mean, I've been around horse people, too. I owned 3 horses.
And they always say chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
So sure, champing at the bit can be accurate historically, but why would Lily have any reason to have that language would be my question.
Yes, that seems a little unusual, unless basically we're going to say that her Aunt Mary had some sort of influence on her, and honestly, I would love to see Luke go, what did you just say?
But still, like, 1930s?
Yeah.
I don't think her Aunt Mary's going to have champing at the bit be her standard either.
Yeah, well,
Unless they explain it, that sounds weird to me. All right.
All
right. I can see you champing at the bit to check out that car. Go get behance. Pop that hood. Why would you assume that the first thing you would do with that car is pop the hood?
Of all the things.
Like, remove the tires, look at the overall thing, figure out what to take together,
honestly,
get the plants on the inside.
I would be like, inspect the car to see basically what it is. Just like to see what the damage is, see if it's rusting.
Inspect for things living in it. Yeah. Snakes, lizards, bugs.
Scorpions.
I could totally see a nest of bees happily being in there.
Oh, yeah.
Because being is a verb. They're just being along.
They're just being all by themselves.
They're just being themselves. All right.
Pop that hood.
Hop that hood.
Whoa,
cactus.
Oh boy, I have totally ruined my hands on some chola. Ah!
Do you like cactus as much as I do? Because that's pretty beautiful.
Hey! Oh, man.
No, you weren't excited about the cactus, but
your timing was terrible.
I have no idea why those cactus would, or how those cactus...
Is it chola or chula cactus?
I don't remember. I'm not actually sure. I would say, but particularly, like, those cactus, I don't know if they could grow to that style and amount without any sunlight, without direct sunlight. As far as I know, those kinds of cactus really need direct sunlight.
Cactus in general, they are a succulent, and usually, as far as I understand, they
want light.
A lot of light. It's cholla.
Okay.
Cholla. Cholla.
That doesn't look like the same kind of cactus at all. These are round boys?
No, I know. But I'm just like, cholla, because I can. And because it's just an experience that...
My friend's talking about a different breed of cactus.
Yeah, it's fine. I can.
These are boompy little types. I was like,
I don't really know cactus all that well, so I don't really
How would they grow there? I'm sorry, I'm just like, what's wrong? You do not understand this man at all. I'm sorry, I just paused because I'm like, you purport to like and be interested in this man and his interests. You continually dismiss, shit on, or ignore his interests. Why would you not, Lily, being an intelligent woman that you are, understand that he's disappointed because the engine's not there? Like, you've spent actual time around him, as opposed to us, which have spent like truncated, imagined time around him, where we've had short hops and long hops with your actual conversations, the time you spent together, what kind of interactions you've had, all of that kind of stuff. You, if you like him and have paid any attention to him, should know where he's at by now, in my opinion. Like, I don't care if you've only known him for 20 days, 25 days, and you've only seen him for half of those days. He has been all about cars and building stuff the whole time.
There's also something that I'm bothered by in relation to their relationship, is that she really doesn't seem to be interested in him at all. Of going, like, she has none of what I would call the typical crush behaviors. Of going, that I'm really interested in what you have to say, and I really want to talk to you, and hey, what's up? What are you talking about? What is that thing? Like, you really, like, I know not everybody performs the same behaviors, and that's certainly a stereotype, but I'm like, I've seen a lot of people basically where they're just like, I'm really excited to be around this person, and whatever, they're like, you said something. What was that?
God.
What are you talking about? Huh?
Okay.
What?
So my friend has just clarified it for me, this thing that's been sort of nagging at the back of my head that I haven't had a name for, and I feel like I know what it is now. So having known some adult women in my life, I will just say, you know, because now that, because I have known them both as a child, as an adult, I've known women. I'll say, but and seeing them do crush behavior, that my friend has a really good point. A lot of them are like, I want to be interesting to you, I want to be pleasing to you, I want to make reasons, make reasons and space to be around you, sort of by. And that's often by, you know, engaging in your interests, putting myself out there to join you in what you're doing so you don't have to work as hard for me. But what I'm getting here is what I've seen in a lot of the adult women I have known, you know, from the ages of like, you know, 19 to 25 kind of thing. And even in like my mom's friends, more like, you know, like 35 to like 55 and stuff like that. It was sort of in that area,
Right.
Of going, I'm sexually interested in you, not romantically interested in you.
Right.
I find you to be a hot smoking bud, and you could do a whole lot for me. I'm not interested in what you're saying, who you are, what your interests are. I'm just going, yes. So I don't remember what your likes and dislikes are. I'm often like, what are you thinking when you say stuff? Because I'm not really paying attention to you, but I continue to go, yes, I want that person. God, I feel possessed with that person. I'm interested in that person. I'll get jealous about that person. But it's sexual versus romantic interest in that behavior that I've seen.
Right.
So what I'm getting from Lily here, based on, and just being able to try and wrap that up, and that I've gotten for a while without knowing how to say it, is it feels like she's displaying only sexual interest, not romantic interest. But she's couching it in romantic interest, going, that's the only kind of interest there is. So I must want a relationship from this person, not just have physical attraction and or, you know, sexual chemistry with this person.
Well, you know, it's one of those assumptions that we've probably mentioned before, and I'm actually pretty certain we've mentioned before, is that a lot of people tend to assume that sexual interests means that also you're romantically interested.
Equates to romantic,
like that is the same thing.
And that they're not only that they one are the same thing.
They're not mutually exclusive.
They are mutually attached. So even if they are separate things, they always exist together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of people actually assume, and I'm like, no, honey.
All right.
No.
What's wrong?
Worst thing that can happen when you go to check out an engine.
There's no engine? What's that?
Honey.
You really aren't paying attention to him at all. This is
it's
weird.
Right there. I'd be like, there's no engine. Unless she's just assuming that that's just the way it was designed and just going, it's a display.
But again,
what's wrong?
We're talking about her noticing Luke's interests. So
I know. I'm saying, like, I could see where it would be lost, but I also find it stupid because him going, oh, that's disappointing, to be like, well, what? Like, and also sometimes not answering because you're afraid that it's something you also don't see. Like, you're like, I know the engine's not there. Are you talking about something else?
Well, and but the thing is worst thing when you go to check on an engine and her going, oh, but that's clearly not an engine. And him going, yeah. And you go, oh, right. Like there's a lot of ways. Again, they're not writing them for me to feel like they have chemistry.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's feeling super weird. Like, again, neither of them are interested in each other's interests in any way. But Luke also doesn't seem like he's, you know, fawning at Lily the same way she is at him when she gets opportunities. And it's just like, it's a really weird interaction for me.
Yeah. No engine.
Her so surprised, like completely surprised. What?
Who?
Her surprised Pikachu face. Huh? When you look for an engine, there's no engine? That's, wow, that's bad. Okay, that's bad. Well, it's part of the set piece, so I don't want to get rid of it. Okay.
You're just assuming that an engine. So again, I'm like, sometimes you. Oh, so okay. So I knew places where they would have display cars.
Yeah.
And they didn't have engines in them.
Not at all. That makes them way heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy crap, that makes them
I'm like, guys,
heavier.
it's just a frame.
Yeah.
with some wheels.
And so like the ones
that's
they
not...
like the ones they lift up and they put on like signposts or on top of buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Usually they're as hollow as possible because that's a lot of weight to put up there.
Oh yeah, I'm like
And again, like I'm
not connecting to what also he's young, other than basically what he'd wanted was a real car.
which is fine. I understand his disappointment, but I also don't understand her going, well, it's part of the set piece, so I don't want to get rid of it. Him going, there's no engine, and her assuming immediately that means get rid of it. Feels weird.
I don't understand it either. I'm like
I'm not sure what this conversation is.
I don't either.
Maybe we can make it into a huge planter, which it already is. Like, it's literally already. Just clean out the dead stuff around those beautiful cacti, and then,
it's gorgeous, yeah.
It'd be really good.
That's so... us.
What?
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 What? Okay, that...
Feels weird.
Where the fuck did that go?
Hard right turn.
Well, I don't want... Like, right after that, or him, and then her going, well, I don't want to get rid of it. Like, that made no sense to me. What were you conveying there? And then now that's so us?
Yeah, no, I feel like this is like 3 different conversations just sort of linked together, like, awkwardly. Because it's like, I don't understand what you're talking about. No engine. What? There's no engine. Well, yeah, of course, so when you look under a hood, you get disappointed when there's no engine. Oh, well, I don't want to get rid of the car.
What?
How does no engine equate you'd need to get rid of the car? Because it wouldn't need an engine anyway if it's just a set piece. If it's part of the display, it doesn't even need an engine. You could just fix it up and leave it there. It wouldn't even need to be a planter. You could just fix it up, shine it, paint it, and leave it there.
Yeah, some people literally just have, again, more display cars that the only point and purpose they have them there is so you can fucking take pictures of them because they're cute. Like, and that's it.
And that's the whole purpose. Some people even I've seen hollow out the insides of car, because for a little while I tried to get into my family's car experience, into some like my brother's car experience and stuff. So I looked at the only interesting thing I could find in cars, which is extreme customization of cars.
Oh yeah, which is cool as hell.
Which can be really cool. But I saw a number of set cars where it's you have this really cool beautiful 1922 Buick, or I don't even know if they made it at that time, but there's these really cool Fender cars, these beautiful old classic, right, in pale blue with the beautiful interiors, and the front of it they turned into a really cool cat castle for their cats.
Aww.
So you could lift the roof up and you could the hood up and you could see all the cats in there, but then you could close the hood and the cats could go in and out from the bottom as they pleased and have their own space.
Aw, that's adorable.
It was super cute. But a lot of stuff like that. Another one made the front, they did a glass hood on top of it, and they had a fish tank in the engine area.
Oh, nice! I love crap
pretty.
like that. Again, that's the one thing that I thought is so cool about cars, is literally the extreme customization.
But again, they're not making them a functioning car. This is a decorative car
object. Yeah.
Object. It's car decor at that point.
It's a car statue.
I know, it's super cool, but they make it from an actual body of a car.
Yeah.
And it's that is what this was. If this, because you can't drive around down here, this area isn't designed for joyriding, so they didn't have a functioning car down here in the first place, let alone it couldn't have ended up propped up on top of tires without someone doing that deliberately. That doesn't happen on accident.
Yeah.
I say, but because there is a couple of tires tucked underneath it.
I don't get it.
I say, so there's this experience of turning it into a planter actually can't restore it to its former glory because it was a model car.
But that's so us. I don't get it all. Suddenly we're going, and now we'll be romantic, and I'm like,
it's not us though. What it is it's so Lily.
Yeah, that is.
Let's turn it into a planter. That's so Lily, not him.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
And he's just sort of every single time when she's done, we could do more stuff with flowers. He's like, right. That's a thing that you want to do. Okay, I will be amenable to that because I'm being nice. And because I don't want to argue with you.
Or it's your land. Do what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Going, have fun. Your clan makes you I don't get
that doesn't feel like so us
That beat is
all.
weird.
Weird.
What?
Make car flower bed.
Except we're still going in order, so nothing for you.
No, we're going to choose a bus stop shelter because you should be out of the rain, my bro.
Great.
And Mom's here.
Oh.
I love this idea where if we choose them in order, it pops all around. So she's here having this basically coherent conversation with us about the photograph and about cars. And then we just, both of us walk away. And she's just like, okay, and goes back to her chair. We go do something else for a couple of hours, build an entire freaking sign, and then come back over here and she just hops up from her chair and comes back again for reasons.
Okay, well, there's that. And there's also the literal... Does this feel a little inane to you, this question? So then, is this supposed to be what? A bus stop? We already fucking talked about that it was a god...
Yes. What else? Because it's repair bus stop. We've already used that language. On the other hand, it's Luke, what did you think it was? And I'm like, I want to
don't-
complain about the bar under the bench, and I have the whole time, but it's fine. But I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he ask that?
What?
It seems like. I guess I don't
Then
know
what
either.
did we do with the bench? Fix the bus stop bench,
Okay.
but not
Again,
fucking what?
these are both intelligent professional adults. There's a literal bus stop sign right here.
Uh-huh.
And this is your classic bus stop setup.
And also at the same time too, we literally, in the language of picking this particular quest, I guess as it were, this
It
option,
said fix bus stop.
fix the bus stop. I'm like,
Yeah.
granted, I am assuming that the characters know what the hell they're interacting with, or if they don't, they usually ask questions, or they just go, yeah, it's a thing. I've never seen them like so wildly directly contradict and go,
Yeah.
I didn't know what the thing was.
So as far as
What?
I have used the labels that we pick, the ones where we click the button of do this, to be what Lily is calling it in her head.
Uh-huh.
You know, fix planters. She's saying fix planters. Buy fish. She's saying buy fish. You know,
Except didn't we have that one time where there was the one that we picked, we said you called it something entirely different? What the hell just happened? What was that one?
I don't remember.
Oh
Okay,
shit,
but
there was one we really got
But
upset
there were a
about.
couple of them that had like different, like there were several of them that it had a label that was never spoken about, but it didn't mean that she contradicted it later necessarily.
Right.
But like this feels super weird of going, that's her to-do list that we're checking off. If like functionally, like that's the convention we've been taught. This is your to-do list, Lily's, and we're checking it off. So why would you go, is this a bus stop? Seems like it. Let's fix it up.
And let's just...
That feels super weird.
That feels strange. That's
Okay, so this one's torn up already and going to rust really soon. And
that's a little
one's
scraggly looking.
a little scrabby, and that's so
That's
tiny.
terrible.
Oh my god,
But
these
also-
are all, I don't like any of these.
These are terrible. What is
Okay,
this?
so what I'm getting is that you want it to look super vintage and distressed, but the thing is if you're restoring it to its former glory, when these places were used, if they were in good repair, they looked great. Your car doesn't look casually distressed. Yours paint doesn't look faded and worn out. The old photographs, wow, look at how sepia toned everything was. It's sepia. They didn't have colorization yet. Like, you should have bright colors. The past is not sepia or black and white. And when things were new and well cared for, they were in great shape. So I'm not a fan of any of these. It should have bright, clean colors with good paint.
Well, it's looking better, but, what's it doing here in the first place?
Clearly there was a bus stop where they met. Did you not listen to my mom when she was talking about the story to both of us of this was a diorama of the place they met?
No kidding.
What do you know about it, Mom?
Oh, I'm so tired.
We can't either of us just assume that this whole place, actually all included, is one set of landmarks from when, you know, Great Aunt Mary and Uncle Arthur met each other and fell in love. So let's assume every separate thing here is separate.
Yep, completely. Well, to hear Aunt Mary tell it, her car had broken down on Route 66.
Okay.
Mr. Riki happened to be driving by in his fancy car and offered to give her a ride south.
Because she looked amazing.
Leonard brought her to the Hot Rod Diner where he was supposed to meet up with a friend of his.
Uh-huh.
That friend was Uncle Arthur, and for some reason it was love at first sight.
Some reason. Why couldn't she have liked Mr. Ricci? Riki, I don't even know.
It could be Ricci, it could be Ricardo.
Ricci.
I'm sorry, Ricci. Love at first sight. For some.
Some inexplicable. Why would you like that man? Oh, that's right. It wasn't first sight. They'd met before during the war. Wait,
News to me.
Going to me, it was love at first sight.
Why wouldn't Aunt Mary talk about... But I guess considering that Holly wasn't necessarily really paying attention and took a lot of the stuff that Aunt Mary said is pretty personal, it makes sense she wouldn't really have been paying attention.
Yeah,
much,
Aunt Mary could have talked about it plenty, and she would have gone, I don't care, I don't like you, la 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 la.
Please shut up. Still picked the wrong guy, if you ask me. Richie's richer than buttermilk now.
Are you saying that this property doesn't indicate any wealth at
all?
And additionally, we are still going, you only care about men for their status and money.
Uh-huh. She sounds very unstable as a person and
Like
needs
you
a lot of
don't
help.
like men. Sort of like your daughter doesn't seem to like men.
Actually, Well, fine. I guess then in the next one, we're going to continue on down the list, and it's hilarious to me to still be bouncing around. So I got to tell you that I am wildly entertained of how much we're bouncing.
It's funny.
Like, this is bad.
Their suggested order, or their basically prescribed order, makes this seem even weirder than choosing it randomly. Because then it just runs all over, even when you do it, you know, chronologically, I guess.
Yeah,
which seems a little wild.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys, then for joining us. The hood's still up. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also please feel free to share our videos if you're having a good time. Also, if you'd like to support us more directly, please go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. I got some links in the description down below. And other than that, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!